Do you want to know what the next step is for your business? Here is Sun Tzu's The Art of War that I'd like to recommend to you. As someone who has been on the hunt for ways to expand their business, I can say with absolute certainty that this book will provide you with a fresh perspective on how to plan for success. Contrary to what one might expect from the title, The Art of War is not merely a study of ancient warfare, but rather a treasure trove of modern corporate strategy. This book has been studied for centuries because its principles are just as relevant now as they were back then. What I love about this book is how it's all about strategic thinking. You might be thinking, but how does ancient military strategy relate to our business? Well, that's the beauty of it. It's incredibly adaptable. Whether we're talking about market research, customer acquisition, or even negotiation tactics, the principles in The Art of War can be applied to almost any aspect of our business strategy. And here's the really cool part. The Art of War isn't just about being ruthless or cutthroat. It's also about collaboration and working smarter, not harder. So, what do you think of this video? We are going to give you the best summary of the war principles of this book for each chapter, with all the key lessons and clear scenarios of where and how to apply them in your business. As a result, we would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel, like this video, and let us know what else you need us to help you with in each book. Moving on to Chapter 1, titled Laying Plans. Sun Tzu kicks off by saying that warfare is a vital matter to the state. It's about life or death, survival or ruin. And guess what? The same goes for the challenges we face. Whether it's acing an exam, winning a game, or leading a project at work, how we plan can be the difference between triumph and defeat. Just like when you're playing your favorite video game. You wouldn't just jump into a tough level without knowing your objective, the rules, or the best tactics to win, right? That's what Sun Tzu is getting at. Before you dive into any challenge, take a moment to lay out your plan. What's your goal? What hurdles might you face? How can you overcome them smartly? Key lessons are: number 1, the importance of planning. Sun Tzu emphasizes that success in any battle comes from careful and detailed planning. It's about knowing what you want to achieve and how you're going to get there. Number 2, consider all factors. He outlines 5 essential factors for success: the way, the weather, the terrain, the leadership, and management. In our world, this means understanding our goals, environment, conditions, leadership qualities, and resource management. Number 3, winning without fighting. The best victories are those won without conflict. It's about outsmarting challenges and opponents, finding the path of least resistance to achieve our goals. For instance, let's say you're working on a big project. Instead of diving headfirst, take a page out of Sun Tzu's book. Define your objective clearly. Understand the terrain. That's your workplace dynamics and project requirements. Consider the weather. Maybe that's your deadline or any external factors. Assess your resources and team dynamics. Then craft a plan that navigates these factors smartly. Remember, the goal isn't just to complete the project, but to do it in a way that's efficient, effective, and maybe even innovative. So what's the big takeaway from this chapter of The Art of War? It's simple. Planning is everything. Whether you're facing an ancient battlefield or modern-day challenges, the time and thought you put into planning your strategy can make all the difference. It's about being smart, prepared, and ahead of the game. In Chapter 2 of The Art of War, titled Waging War, you might think this chapter is all about the clash and bang of battle, but there's a lot more to it. It's about understanding the cost of conflict and why being quick and efficient is the key to winning. Let's break it down and see what it means for us today. In Waging War, Sun Tzu talks about the economic and emotional costs of warfare. He stresses that war should be swift, aiming for a quick victory. The longer a conflict drags on, the more it drains the resources and morale of the people involved. This isn't just about battles. It's about any challenge or conflict we face where dragging our feet can cost us more than we realize. The key lessons from this chapter are: Number 1, the cost of conflict. Every challenge we face comes with its costs, whether it's time, money, or energy. Recognizing these costs up front can help us prepare and decide the best course of action. Number 2, efficiency and speed. Sun Tzu advises that the best victory is a quick one. In modern terms, it's about solving problems or overcoming obstacles efficiently, without wasting resources. Number 3, strategic use of resources. It's not just about having resources. It's about using them wisely. This means planning and executing our actions in a way that maximizes impact while minimizing waste. Think about the last time you had a big project or a tough goal. Did it feel like it was dragging on forever, eating up your time and energy, and maybe even dipping into your savings? That's what Sun Tzu warns us about. He's saying, hey, get to the point. Win your battles quickly and don't let them drain you. It's like deciding to study smarter, not harder, so you're not burning the midnight oil before an exam. For example, imagine you're launching a new product. Instead of rolling it out slowly, you go for a quick, impactful launch. You've done your homework, you know your audience, and you hit them with a well-timed, well-resourced campaign. That's waging war. Sun Tzu style. You're not just throwing resources at the problem, you're striking efficiently to win the market quickly. The key takeaway of Chapter 2 of The Art of War teaches us an invaluable lesson: the importance of being quick and efficient in our conflicts. Whether you're up against a tight deadline, a competitive market, or a personal goal, remember that dragging things out can be costly. Aim for swift, decisive action to come out on top. Chapter 3 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is all about attack by stratagem. If you thought this was about charging into battle without a second thought, think again. Sun Tzu teaches us the power of outsmarting our challenges. Let's decode how to win the smart way, not the hard way. Attack by stratagem focuses on the supreme importance of strategy. Sun Tzu tells us that the acme of skill is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Imagine overcoming obstacles not by smashing through them, but by outthinking them. It's about making smart moves that avoid unnecessary struggle and lead to victory. The key lessons from this chapter are: Number 1, the best victory is the one without fighting. Winning through strategy is superior to winning through conflict. This applies to every aspect of life, from negotiating in business to resolving personal disputes. Number 2, know your enemy and yourself. Understanding both your strengths and weaknesses, as well as those of your adversaries, is key. It's like knowing exactly where to push to open a door that's stuck instead of just banging on it. Number 3, avoid what is strong. Attack what is weak. This is about leveraging your strengths against the vulnerabilities of your challenges. It's finding the path of least resistance to achieve your goals. For example, let's say you're in a heated debate at work about the best way to tackle a project. Instead of butting heads with your team, you take a step back to understand their points of view and your own objectives. Then, you propose a solution that aligns with everyone's goals, effectively winning the battle without a fight. That's attacking by stratagem. Winning by being the smartest person in the room, not the loudest. So what's the genius takeaway from Chapter 3? It's all about winning smart. In a world where everyone's ready to flex their muscles, be the one who brings brains to the brawl. Whether it's in your career, in your personal goals, or in navigating life's many battles, remember that the smartest strategy is often the one that avoids unnecessary conflict and seeks a clever path to victory. Chapter 4 of The Art of War is titled Tactical Dispositions. This isn't about moving chess pieces on a board. It's about setting yourself up for success, no matter what life throws your way. Let's discover how being adaptable and well-positioned can turn the tide in your favor. In Tactical Dispositions, Sun Tzu explores the concept of positioning and readiness. He argues that victory comes from being well-prepared and able to adapt to changing circumstances. It's about making sure you're always in the best possible position to deal with challenges, whether you're on the battlefield, in the boardroom, or facing personal hurdles. The key lessons from this chapter are: number 1, preparation is key. Being prepared means more than just having a plan. It's about being ready to change that plan when the situation calls for it. Number 2, adaptability. The ability to adapt to new challenges and change your tactics accordingly is crucial. It's like being a chameleon, changing colors to fit the environment. Number 3, positioning. Understanding your environment and positioning yourself advantageously within it can make all the difference. It's not just about where you are, but about being in the right place at the right time. For example, imagine you're pitching a new idea at work, but halfway through, you realize your audience isn't receptive. Instead of plowing ahead, you adapt on the fly, tweaking your approach to address their concerns and interests. By the end, you've won them over. Not because your original idea was flawless, but because you positioned your pitch to resonate with your audience. That's tactical disposition in action. Being flexible and responsive to the situation at hand. Chapter 4 teaches us a powerful lesson. The art of winning isn't just about brute force or even having a solid plan. It's about being so well prepared and adaptable that you can face any situation with confidence. In life, as in strategy, being able to pivot and reposition yourself can be the key to overcoming challenges and achieving your goals. Chapter 5 of The Art of War is all about energy. Energy in Sun Tzu's terms is about the strength and vitality needed for sustained activity. It's about channeling your resources and efforts in the most effective way to achieve your goals. Sun Tzu highlights the importance of harmony and timing, teaching us to strike with force when the moment is right and to conserve our energy when it's not. The key lessons from this chapter are: number 1, harmonizing efforts. Just like a well-conducted orchestra, every element of your plan should work in harmony. It's about aligning your goals, strategies, and actions to create a powerful force. Number 2, conservation of energy. Don't waste your resources on battles you can't win or on efforts that don't move you toward your goal. It's about being strategic with where and how you invest your energy. Number 3, timing and momentum. Knowing when to act is crucial. Sun Tzu teaches us to capitalize on the right moment to maximize our impact with the least amount of effort. Imagine you're playing your favorite sport. You don't go all out in the first 5 minutes. You'll wear yourself out. Instead, you pace yourself, wait for the right moment, and then give it your all when it counts. That's what Sun Tzu is getting at. It's about managing your energy so you're ready to make your move at the perfect time. Chapter 5, Energy, teaches us a valuable lesson. Success isn't just about how hard you work, it's about how smart you work. By harmonizing our efforts, conserving our resources, and seizing the right moments, we can achieve our goals more effectively and with less waste. It's a reminder to be mindful of our energy and to use it wisely. Chapter 6 is titled Weak Points and Strong. It's like being in a chess game where knowing your opponent's next move and your best countermove can make all the difference. In Weak Points and Strong, Sun Tzu teaches us the art of understanding and leveraging the vulnerabilities and strengths in any situation. It's about being so in tune with the dynamics of your environment that you can predict outcomes and influence them in your favor. Whether you're facing a rival, a challenging project, or personal goals, knowing where the weak points and strong points lie is crucial. The key lessons from this chapter are: number 1, identify strengths and weaknesses. Start by assessing both your position and your opponents or challenges. Position. Knowing what you're good at and where you're vulnerable helps you make smarter decisions. Number 2, exploit weaknesses. Sun Tzu emphasizes using strategy to exploit the weaknesses of your adversaries while avoiding their strengths. It's like finding the soft spot on a tough nut and cracking it right there. Number 3, protect your weak points. Just as you look to exploit weaknesses, guard your own. It's about being aware of where you're vulnerable and shoring up those areas as best you can. For example, picture this. You're aiming for a promotion, but so is your coworker. Instead of directly competing in areas where they're strong, you focus on building your unique skills that the company needs, skills your coworker lacks. When the time comes, you present your case, highlighting how your strengths fill a gap in the team. That's applying Sun Tzu's wisdom, leveraging your strong points against their weak ones. Chapter 6, Weak Points and Strong, isn't just ancient military strategy. It's a lesson for life. By understanding the strengths and weaknesses in any situation, we can navigate more effectively towards our goals. In Chapter 7, we will be looking into the topic of maneuvering. Maneuvering emphasizes the importance of strategic movement and positioning. Sun Tzu highlights that the success of any endeavor relies not just on deciding to move, but on choosing how, when, and where to move. It's a dance of decisions that, when done right, can lead to victory with minimal resistance. For instance, imagine you're leading a project at work and suddenly a key team member leaves. Instead of panicking, you reassess your resources, adjust your timeline, and maybe even find an opportunity to streamline some processes. You've just maneuvered your way through a challenge, turning a potential setback into a strategic advantage. That's Sun Tzu in the modern world, maneuvering with purpose and agility. The key lessons from this chapter are: Number 1, the art of movement. Strategic movement is key. This means knowing when to advance, when to retreat, and when to stand firm. It's about making moves that are unexpected and advantageous. Number 2, adaptability in plans. Your first plan might not always work out, so being able to adapt and change tactics on the fly is a strength. Number 3, using terrain to your advantage. Sun Tzu talks a lot about the physical battlefield, but for us, terrain can mean the environment or context we're operating in. Understanding and leveraging the unique aspects of our situation can greatly enhance our success. Chapter 7, Maneuvering, teaches us that the path to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and the occasional backtrack. The key is to stay adaptable, keep your eyes on the prize, and move with intention and strategy. The 8th chapter of Sun Tzu's The Art of War is titled Variation in Tactics. If you've ever thought that sticking to a single plan is the way to win, this chapter will turn that idea on its head. It's all about the power of adaptability and the art of switching up your game to stay ahead. In Variation in Tactics, Sun Tzu emphasizes that no single strategy will work in every situation. The conditions of conflict are constantly changing, and our tactics need to evolve to match. This chapter is a call to be mentally agile, to anticipate changes, and to be ready to adapt our strategies to meet the moment. For instance, let's say you're launching a new product, but the initial marketing strategy isn't getting the traction you hoped for. Instead of doubling down on a failing plan, you reassess the market, gather feedback, and pivot your approach. Maybe you target a different audience, tweak the message, or explore new marketing channels. This flexibility allows you to turn a potential flop into a success story. That's the essence of variation in tactics. The key lessons from this chapter are: Number 1, flexibility in strategy. The ability to change your approach based on new information or changing conditions is crucial. Number 2, avoiding predictability. If you're predictable, you're vulnerable. Changing your tactics keeps opponents guessing and unable to form a solid counter-strategy. Number 3, tailoring tactics to situations. Just as a tailor adjusts a suit to fit perfectly, your strategy should be adjusted to fit the specifics of each situation you encounter. Variation in tactics teaches us that being static in our ways can lead to stagnation or defeat. The key to overcoming obstacles isn't just hard work, but also smart work. Knowing when to pivot, when to hold back, when to charge forward with a new plan. Chapter 9 is titled The Army on the March. This isn't just about ancient armies trekking through the wilderness. It's about reading the environment, understanding the signs, and making informed decisions. Whether you're leading a team, managing a project, or just planning your next big move, there's wisdom here for you. The army on the march focuses on the nuances of maneuvering forces and the critical importance of being attuned to the environment and signs. For Sun Tzu, success in battle comes from not just the strength of the army, but also the leader's ability to interpret and adapt to the surroundings. Imagine you're planning a road trip and you notice dark clouds gathering in the direction you're headed. You wouldn't just drive into a storm, right? You might change your route or delay the trip. That's the essence of the army on the march. It's about noticing those dark clouds in any situation and adjusting your plans to avoid unnecessary trouble. The key lessons from this chapter are: Number 1, environmental awareness. Pay attention to your surroundings and how they can impact your plans. In business, this might mean understanding market conditions. In personal endeavors, it could involve recognizing the influence of external factors. Number 2, interpreting signs. Sun Tzu highlights how certain signs can indicate the enemy's movements or intentions. Translated into modern scenarios, this is about reading between the lines, understanding competitors' actions, or even anticipating market trends. Number 3, strategic flexibility. The ability to adapt your strategy based on what you observe is crucial. This means being responsive to new information and ready to pivot when necessary. The army on the march teaches us the power of observation and adaptability. By being aware of our environment and ready to interpret and act on the signs we see, we can navigate through challenges more effectively. Chapter 10 is titled Terrain. This isn't just about hills and rivers. It's about understanding the environment you're operating in and adapting your strategies accordingly. In Terrain, Sun Tzu discusses the importance of recognizing and adapting to various types of environments. He identifies several kinds of terrain, each with its challenges and advantages. Translating this to our modern lives, we can see terrain as the different contexts and situations we encounter, each requiring a thoughtful and tailored approach. For instance, imagine you're launching a startup. The terrain could be the current market conditions. If it's a crowded market, like a mountainous terrain with many obstacles, you might need a strategy that focuses on differentiation and niche targeting. If it's an untapped market, like open plains, your strategy might be more about quick expansion and securing territory. Recognizing your terrain helps you plan the best path forward. The key lessons from this chapter are: Number 1, understanding your environment. Just as soldiers must know the lay of the land, we must understand the dynamics of our personal and professional environments. It's about recognizing the opportunities and obstacles that each type of terrain presents. Number 2, adapting to the situation. Flexibility is key. Just as different terrains require different tactics, different challenges in life require different strategies. It's about being versatile and ready to change your approach as needed. Number 3, leveraging advantages. Each type of terrain offers unique advantages. In our lives, this means identifying and leveraging the strengths of our current situation, whatever it may be. Chapter 10 teaches us the invaluable skill of situational awareness. By understanding the environment we're in and adapting our strategies to fit, we can navigate any situation more effectively. For the 11th chapter, we're tackling the 9 situations. This chapter is all about navigating through various strategic positions, each with its own set of challenges and opportunities. Whether you're facing a pivotal moment in your career, steering a project, or making crucial life decisions, understanding these 9 situations can empower you to make smarter moves. The 9 situations categorizes different scenarios that one might face, from easy ground to desperate ground, and Sun Tzu offers tailored advice for each. This wisdom teaches us not just to react to our circumstances, but to understand them deeply and respond in ways that leverage our position. By applying these principles, we can navigate complex situations with greater confidence and strategic insight. Let's say you're launching a new product. Depending on the market's reception, you might find yourself in different situations. If the market is welcoming, an open ground, you might push for rapid expansion. If competition is fierce, contentious ground. Forming partnerships or focusing on niche markets could be your best strategy. Recognizing and adapting to these situations can lead your venture to success. The key lessons from this chapter are: Number 1. Assessing the situation. Recognize which of the 9 situations you're in. Each requires a different strategy, from securing alliances in accessible terrain to fighting with all you've got on desperate ground. Number 2. Adapting your approach. Be fluid in your tactics. What works in one situation may not work in another. Flexibility and creativity in your approach can turn even challenging scenarios to your advantage. Number 3. Strategic positioning. Position yourself advantageously within your environment. This means not just physical positioning, but positioning in a broader sense. Be it in a market, within a social setting, or even within a personal endeavor. Chapter 11. The 9 situations isn't just about military strategy, it's a guide for life. It teaches us that success often comes from recognizing the nature of the challenge we face and adapting our strategy accordingly. Whether in business, personal growth, or social interactions, understanding our strategic position enables us to act with wisdom and foresight. Chapter 12 of Sun Tzu's The Art of War is aptly named The Attack by Fire. It's about sparking change, fueling momentum, and burning away obstacles. Whether you're navigating the competitive landscape of business, facing personal challenges, or looking to outmaneuver rivals, the principles of attacking by fire can illuminate your path to victory. The Attack by Fire delves into the tactical use of fire, highlighting the importance of precision, timing, and environmental awareness. Sun Tzu describes various scenarios for using fire effectively and the preparation required for such tactics. For us, fire can symbolize the strategic application of resources or actions to create a significant impact, disrupt the status quo, or overcome challenges. Imagine you're in a crowded market with many similar products. Instead of a direct confrontation, a frontal attack, you decide to set a fire by launching an innovative marketing campaign that highlights a unique aspect of your product, creating buzz and drawing attention away from your competitors. This strategic fire disrupts the status quo, positioning you for success. The key lessons from this chapter are: Number 1. Strategic timing. Just as using fire requires the right conditions, strategic moves in any endeavor must be timed perfectly to maximize impact. Number 2. Control and precision. The use of fire demands control to prevent it from turning on the user. Similarly, our strategies should be executed with precision and care to ensure they lead to the desired outcome without unintended consequences. Number 3. Environmental awareness. Understanding the terrain. In modern terms, being aware of the market conditions, competitive landscape, or personal circumstances can determine the success of our strategic attacks. Chapter 12. The Attack by Fire teaches us the power of strategic action, using our resources and opportunities not just with force, but with foresight, precision, and an understanding of the broader context. In our final chapter analysis of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, we explore the use of spies. Far from a simple tale of espionage, this chapter is a masterclass in the value of information and the lengths to which one should go to acquire it. Whether you're in the boardroom, navigating social dynamics, or competing in any field, understanding and applying the art of information gathering can be your greatest asset. Let's uncover the secrets of using spies to our advantage. The use of spies outlines 5 types of spies used in warfare and the importance of trustworthy and intelligent sources of information. Sun Tzu argues that success in any venture comes from knowing what others do not. In modern terms, this translates to the strategic gathering and analysis of data, market research, competitive intelligence, and insightful observation to outmaneuver competition and make informed decisions. Imagine you're trying to decide the best time to launch your new product. Instead of guessing, you gather information on market trends, competitor launch dates, and customer preferences. It's like having your own network of spies giving you the insights you need to choose the perfect moment for your launch, ensuring it makes the biggest splash. The key lessons from this chapter are: number 1, value of information. The right information at the right time is priceless. It can reveal opportunities, expose weaknesses in competitors, and guide strategic decisions. Number 2, sources of information. Just as Sun Tzu categorizes spies, we can look at various sources of information: market trends, customer feedback, competitor analysis, to inform our strategies. Number 3, secrecy and trust. The effectiveness of information gathering depends on confidentiality and trust. In business, this could mean protecting trade secrets and ensuring the reliability of your sources. Chapter 13, The Use of Spies, teaches us the unparalleled power of information. In any aspect of life, being well-informed allows us to make decisions with confidence and precision. Whether we're gathering insights on market trends, understanding the needs of our audience, or keeping an eye on the competition, the strategic use of information is key to achieving our goals.